Tonight's meeting with the pledge of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can we get onto the agenda? Can I get a motion to approve the village board meeting minutes from September 19th, 2019?
Moved.
Second.
Any questions, changes? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Next item is citizens' comments. Anybody wishing to address the board? Come to the microphone, your name, address, and what you're interested in. Seeing none, we'll move on to the reason why everybody's here. To turn off my phone. That would be a good idea. Next item, number 4. Can I get a motion appointing Jason E. Gwynn as a police agent with the Baldwinsville Police Department at a salary of $74,994 with an effective date of October 5th, 2019, and this is a budgeted position.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Michael, any comments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. I'd just like to make some comments about Jason before the board votes. As many of you know, Jason joined our department back in 2012. He had come to us. He had worked for a couple years prior to that for the Madison County Sheriff's Office as a road patrol deputy there. Jason made an impact somewhat immediately with our organization, was named our Officer of the Year in 2013. For a number of years, Jason worked the 3 to 11 shift in the department and often was the top officer as far as calls handled and reports written. He's also served as one of our primary field training officers, so when we've hired new officers, Jason's one of those officers that helps train them as to how we expect our officers to perform here in Baldwinsville. He's been a firearms instructor now for us and was critical in the research and development of our new firearms program in our transition from our old weapons to our new weapons. He's got a strong commitment to public safety. He's a certified medical emergency medical technician. He's a captain in the Fairmount Fire Department, and I'm certainly looking forward to his presence and working with him as a part of our supervisory staff, and would certainly ask for the board's support in his appointment.
Very good. Thanks, Michael. Okay, heard what the chief had to say. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. At this time, I will join the chief and we will have our swearing-in ceremony. They were? Yeah, this one's on in here. Ready? Repeat after me. I, Jason E. Gwynn, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to enforce equally and impartially the laws of the Village of Baldwinsville, the County of Onondaga, and the State of New York. I swear to carry out my duties in the position of police agent to the best of my ability, with loyalty and fidelity to the Department of Police of the Village of Baldwinsville, and with dedication and honesty to the citizens and people of the Village of Baldwinsville. Congratulations. Anything you'd like to say?
I'd like to present Jason with his new badge, as well as his stripes, sergeant stripes. And we have someone to pin on your collar brass.
This is your shot right now.
Near the jugular, wherever you choose to do that, that's your business.
Congratulations. I'd just like to say, since Jason's come on board, it's been great watching him grow in the department. And I know that, like Mike, we have a lot of faith with what he does out on the road and the way he conducts himself. And we're very excited that he's earned this promotion. And because of that, we have brought cake. We will take a little break from the action. And everybody can get a chance to give him a hug, a smooch, whatever you want to do. And congratulate Jason once again. Congratulations.
You ready? All right, we'll restart the meeting. We'll move on to trustees' comments. We'll start with Mark.
I'm just going to stick with the agenda tonight. Thank you.
Ruth?
I will stick with the agenda too.
Bruce?
The agenda looked fine.
Megan?
Just the agenda.
Shep?
Just going to thank everybody for coming, but there's nobody.
They're all gone now.
Agenda's good, thanks.
Andy?
Just the agenda.
All right, we'll move on to mayor's comments. I only have a couple. Apparently, Taste of Baldwinsville was a pretty good hit. I didn't get over there till about 8 o'clock at night. But a couple of the restaurant people that I talked to, Angry Garlic, Pizza Man, Tissone's, and Fireside, all said they went through a ton of food and thought it went really well. And they're all talking about doing it again next year. And there was even comments that maybe they ought to do stuff in between, not wait so long. But one of the comments was the bees were nasty. Have we had problems over there with bees, Dave, do you know?
Time of year.
Everywhere.
They had issues with garbage, I know, and it looked like the garbage cans were overflowing, so maybe that attracted some bees.
Could be.
We haven't had, it's never been brought to my attention.
Yeah, okay.
It's that time of year.
Yeah,
Sure.
right. Okay. At some point, will you give us an update on how the concert summer went?
I haven't made time yet, but I will like last year. I'll do a summary of what we did, the revenue for the year.
The revenue for the year, the number of events, and any feedback that from anyone.
I mean, I heard mostly good stuff. You know,
Yeah.
from people. First of all, the nature of the entertainers was the people really liked who we had, and you know, we got a break. The weather was pretty good on almost all the concerts. And I think I had 2 comments over the whole summer on noise. So.
There were 3 shows that, in talking to someone who's quite a music enthusiast, could hardly believe that Baldwinsville would have those entertainers come to our venue. So I guess we were fortunate in that regard. I don't know them, but that Country Act was one of the 3. I think a lot of people knew that one, but there were 2 other acts that people...
Revivalists in the beginning of the summer.
Yeah, that was one of them. And the Marcus King, I guess, is another one. Very well received, very popular, and that a venue like ours is, we were fortunate to get them, I guess. I mean, I don't know it, but people who do said that that was the case.
In talking to Dan Mastronardi one night over on the island, he said the fact that they had such good concerts this year will like multiply next year, because when people hear, oh, you had the Revivalists there, oh, you had Chase Rice, well, then it must be a pretty good venue, and we'll book our guy with you, type of thing. So that's good to know. We're in the midst of another carp tournament. If you go down on Meadow Street, down that area towards Community Park, all along that strip, you can go down and watch some of the carp fishermen. Kind of interesting the way you fish for carp, and I'm guessing that most of them would be willing to explain to you what they're doing, and if they get a little nicer weather, really will work out. This is, I think, Ghost Walk weekend.
Yes, they were setting up today.
So I don't know if they're all sold out or not, but this is the Center for the Arts. If you want to try and see if they still have tickets, go online to the Baldwinsville Center for the Arts and check with the email there. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event, and pretty good from what I'm told. All right, we'll move on to department heads. We'll start with our attorney, Bob.
Item, I had discussed this with our code enforcement officer, who unfortunately is not here tonight, but as a result of prior authorization by the board, he did conduct a survey of property at 119 East Genesee Street, and he has supplied the board with copies of his report. And according to our code, once 40 days have passed since the original notice of unsafe building has been served, then the board is free to act. The notice was served on July 23rd. More than 40 days has transpired. So the board, if the board wants to consider this tonight, you would have the ability to adopt a resolution authorizing the mayor to proceed to obtain the destruction or the collapse of the building.
All right.
So you can add that if the board wants to do that.
All right, we'll address that when we get to new business. Okay.
Other than that, I'll stick with the agenda.
Okay, Greg is not here, so I will address an item from him. The bane of his existence, particularly at this time of year in election years, is election signs. First of all, I would say it would behoove people who are going to put signs up anywhere in the village to find out what the rules are about signs. We have very specific codes about where signs can go, how big the signs can be. They can't be on fences, they can't be on telephone poles, can't be over a certain, square inches type of thing. If you don't know what the rules are, you can go online, our code is available, but you can come in here and talk to Greg in the codes office. He took down a few signs the other day, people weren't happy. He's doing his job. It's what he gets paid to do. And it would be nice if people knew what the rules were to save hard feelings later. Cannot be on the village right away. Any kind of signs for garage sales, for events, for elections, they have to be outside the village right away. In general, where there's sidewalks, that means on the side away from the road, beyond the sidewalk. You might have to go to the homeowner and ask him if he minds having a sign in his yard, if it's not your house. There are a few favorite spots. The Point Park area is continually barraged with signs because everybody thinks everybody goes by Point Park, and boy, wouldn't it be a great place. Well, that's all village property. Signs cannot be on that property. So if you put a sign up and it's gone the next day, Greg is not being a bad guy. Greg is doing the job that he gets paid to do. So I would ask people who are involved with that to know what the rules are, and when Greg does his job, you're going to have to live with it. And I'll stop there before I get in trouble. Village clerk, Mo.
Okay, I just have a few reminders for the residents. The clerk's office will be accepting village tax payments through October 31st. Anything paid after that should be paid at the county, November 1st through November 15th. Otherwise, they will be levied on the town taxes. Regarding, let's see, any water bills that are outstanding as of November 25th will be levied on the March village taxes for village residents. Water customers outside the village with an outstanding balance as of October 25th will be levied, those will be levied on your January town taxes. All these deadlines are listed on your tax bills and the back of your water bills, so just thought I would mention it again. Otherwise, that's it.
Very good. Thank you, Mo. Treasurer, Anna.
Everyone should be in receipt of their September financials, and please look them over. If you have any questions, please let me know. And within the next week and a half, all department heads will be receiving the budget for our new 2021 year. So look for them, and if you have questions when I pass them out, please let me know. That's it.
Very good. You always have to bring up that budget stuff, don't you?
Doesn't matter.
Just did it.
All right, we'll move across the room. We'll go to the senior center. Ruth?
On the the same topic, just want to inform this board that the Canton Woods Board met this morning and they did pass our proposed 2020 budget for the senior center. The senior center's fiscal year begins on January 1st. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. One more reminder, flu shots on Friday the 11th at 9:30 at the senior center. Just please bring your insurance cards. And on the same day at 11:15, there's going to be a speaker talking about the Gem Care Senior Emergency Room, which is part of Sunny Upstate, but at the community campus. It's an emergency room which was designed for an environment that's conducive to treating older adults, and they're calling older adults people 65 and over. So if you want to learn a little bit about an emergency room that was thought out to serve older adults, come on by and find out what that's about. Also want to mention that the mayor did start his program called Down Memory Lane, and he'll be visiting the center again on Monday, October 21st at 1 p.m. if you want to take part in that. I understand it was very interesting. Everyone had a good time, and so come on in at 1 o'clock on Monday, October 21st, and join the discussion on Down Memory Lane. Okay, thank you.
Move on to Public Works, Steve.
Just the agenda.
Are you aware of lights for under the old Baldwin Canal Bridge that are less likely to get terrorized? I mean, have you looked into that at all to see if there's another version of lamps that can be put up there?
Yeah, what we have, what the reference is that we put lights underneath the bridge that goes, the state bridge. It's dark under there. We put some lighting. We had vandalism, took the lights down. One of the police officers found them, gave them back to us. We put them back up. They've been taken down again, and this time they're damaged. We do have some lights that I think were intended for the police department somewhere. They have like a shatterproof lens. And if they're not needed, I don't think they are. They've been for a long time up at the highway garage. We're looking at the possibility of them. However, they're fluorescent lights that take electricity. We would need to run some power under there. We currently don't have power. There is a pole adjacent. And the other option is to just build some sort of a cage that would go over the lights like we had there. The problem with that is, you know, the cage has to be coarse enough so that the light gets through, and we're afraid that, you know, if the objective is truly just to remove the lights from there, they're going to throw a rock in or something and break it. So we're trying to find ways to keep that safe underneath there, but it's a struggle, to be honest.
It's always been a problem.
Yeah.
And it has, and you know, to echo Steve's comments, it's a dark area. It's obviously, I think it gives the appearance that it might not be safe. I think it's a safe area, but still, not a lot of people would want to walk under a darkened, you know, low structure like that, which we can certainly appreciate. Unfortunately, it doesn't take a tremendous amount of time to hurl a rock or break something like that. It is an area that we do try and patrol on a regular basis, just because we know that it's an area that, you know, is convenient to get from one parking lot to the other, and parking always can be a premium on like a Friday or Saturday night. So I wasn't aware of those other lights up there. I don't think we need them. So, you know, I'll certainly work with Steve in any way we can to try and combat that issue.
If you're not familiar with it, the problem is that the abutments for the bridge take you right up to where the lights get mounted. There's no place to mount the lights out of reach. You know, it's short to begin with, and then there's basically a walkway right up to the highest point you could put lights. So they're quite easily to be accessed if you want to, you know, just do some. I think it's just malicious vandalism, but.
All right, let's see what we can do. Move on to police. Chief?
I have nothing unless there's questions, Mayor.
Questions? We'll move on to the meat of the agenda here, the pending business. This regarding the operational procedure for recovery of overdue water bills on outside user accounts. We still are in the process of considering updates to that, Mark?
Sorry, say that again.
Yes.
The outside water using procedures that you had some questions about.
We gave comments to Steve tonight at the DPW meeting, so he should have those and be able to make some changes, and then I think we could approve that pending just a couple of minor typo type things that were in the actual document
Or tonight or next meeting?
tonight. I think we could approve that pending the changes.
Okay. So you guys would be comfortable with it, with the changes that
The
you told?
DPW committee would be glad to recommend that we approve it as modified.
Okay. Can I get a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any other questions? So this is the modified version, is what we're talking about.
Yeah, the basic gist is exactly the same. It's wording.
Yeah.
Just
Very good. All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. New business. Item A, can I get a motion declaring the following equipment as surplus and authorizing the village engineer to sell this equipment through a public auction? A 1988 Toro riding lawnmower, a 2001 Toro riding lawnmower, a Mohawk above-ground vehicle lift, Sorgel electrical panel and switch, 1996 Ford utility truck with plow equipment, components of a portable skating rink that is no longer in use, Ingersoll Rand tamper, a Homelight generator 2500, an old plate tamper, and an old Western pickup truck plow.
Second.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is the skating rink ours, or was it on loan from the village of Liverpool?
I've never heard that. And if it is, I'd be glad to bring it to them.
I just think,
I don't think it's functional anymore. It's vinyl, it's been folded up and stored for, I think, in excess of 10 years. I'm afraid that if you took it apart, I don't know that it would hold water. It might, and if it is someone else's and they want it back, it's all, packaged. It's on pallets. We could get it back to them.
familiar to you at
Is
all?
that the one we
Yeah,
had
it was trying
down
in
in
the village square. at one
On the
point.
square?
I can pull that out, if you're afraid. Nobody has mentioned that to me, though.
Or maybe you could ask Town of Lysander supervisor who brought the skating rink if it was given to us, or
If we've been borrowing it.
All right, well, we have a
I bet
motion,
Liverpool doesn't
a
want
motion
it
and a
back.
second on all the items, assuming we get straightened out with the skating rink.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
That could be declared abandoned property.
Yeah.
Adverse possession, New York State City years.
Item B, can I get a motion declaring the following equipment as surplus and authorizing the village engineer to sell this equipment as scrap? 2009 Chevrolet pickup truck that was designed in a 2018, damaged in a 2018 auto accident, and 2 dump truck beds which have been replaced with new beds.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And can I get unless you want to have some discussion on this 119 East Genesee Street, I'm looking for a motion to go ahead with the next step in getting that thing taken down.
Yes, authorizing the mayor to proceed.
Is that the one on the corner of
Yep, Kenny
Phillips and?
It's above Phillips, isn't it? Or is that
Yeah,
Phillips? Yeah, do you
yeah.
want just on,
Some periodically somebody works on,
yeah,
like once every 6 months or so.
yeah, supposedly the guy hired somebody to remodel the whole thing and then got their money and left. And
Yeah.
so they don't have any money to fix it.
I don't believe anyone has worked on it in over 6 months.
Yeah, I also got an email from Greg in which he indicated that he had talked to the owners. They're away for a couple of months, and that they do not have the funding to remediate the problem. And it's, when you look at the report and the pictures, that the building is unsafe. So they basically said, go ahead, let the village do what the village has to do, and we'll deal with the cost relative to our taxes.
Okay, well, that answers the question I had, because I hadn't read the report, but I mean, it's clear in the report, and there's nobody that's gonna fight back at this stage, so,
And we got to give them notice as well, so it's in a corporation. But, and then I'll talk to Greg, it's pursuant to that, if there aren't notices that are posted already. Notices should be posted that it's an unsafe building.
Very good. Yeah, and you saw it. I mean, it's a disaster, right?
Yeah, I did the inspection on it with Greg.
All right, did we get a motion in a second?
No. I can make the motion authorizing the mayor to proceed with the procedure to demolish the building at 119 East Genesee Street, in the village of Baldwinsville.
It will, this will require some direct costs on our part because we're going to need to do an asbestos survey and more than likely some asbestos removal. So, I mean, we'll track all the costs, but there will be some,
Upfront stuff.
you know, yeah.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Anything else that we need to talk about? Any other business? Can I get a motion to pay bills as audited?
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:10?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried.
That's a record.